Today I'm going to go through the topic of alertness, getting you ready for your theory test. This app is called Theory 4-in-1. So this is the app that we are going to be using today. I'm going to show you exactly how to study for your theory test. And with your own effort and practice, hopefully you will pass the first time you go for your theory test. Even if it's not your first time and you have tried to pass many times and you have not succeeded, I will try and make it as easy as possible for you to pass. Okay. In this tutorial, you will not need any PDFs, no printouts. All of the studying is done through this app. Okay, Driving Test Success Theory 4-in-1. You can purchase this app for £4.99, I think, on the App Store. Okay, so let's go and click on this and wait for it to load. Okay, lovely. So here we will click on theory test. Okay, so let's click on that. Next, what we're going to do is go practice revision questions. Okay, we are not going to go on mock tests straight away. When you're studying for your theory test, you don't want to go straight away and go on mock tests. Okay, I will explain to you why. So practice revision questions. Let's go on new test. Okay, so here are all the categories. We have 14 categories that you need to study to prepare for your theory test. Okay, and these questions here have been given by the DVSA as sample questions to prepare you for your theory test. Okay, so as discussed, we are going to go through alertness. Okay, we have a total of 26 questions in this topic, and let's click on alertness. So then we are going to go on start at the bottom of the page. Excuse me, here we have an option of the number of questions that we want. So let's say, for example, you are working 5 days a week, 6 days a week, and you don't have enough time to go through 50 or 100 questions on that day, and you only want to do 10 questions at a time quickly in 10 to 15 minutes during your lunch break. This is perfect for you. Go through 10 questions. If you have more time, you can go for 20, 30, or all questions. Yeah. So here we will do the 10 questions. And let's get started. Here the questions are previous. So the question type, we can click on previously answered incorrectly if you want to go through the ones that you have previously answered incorrectly. So let's start the practice. Okay, question 1. Here I'm going to try to explain to you guys the best way to study as well. Okay, what should you do before slowing down or stopping your vehicle? Okay, so you will have a multiple choice 4 multiple choice answers to pick from. Do we sound our horn, use the mirrors, select the higher gear, or flash the headlight? Okay, so before slowing down or stopping my vehicle, I want to be using my mirrors. Okay, in case there are vehicles very close to the back of my vehicle and I don't suddenly want to stop. Okay, so we can look at the hint. Okay, so if you don't understand what this question is about, there's a hint button here. So you click on hint. Before slowing down or stopping, check the mirrors to see what's happening behind you. Also assess what's ahead and make sure you give the correct signal if it will help other road users. Okay, so we use the mirrors. Okay. Question 2. You're driving on a wet road. What should you do if you have to stop your vehicle in an emergency? Okay. A. Select reverse gear. B. Give an arm signal. D. Keep both hands on the steering wheel. Or D. Apply the parking brake and foot brake together. Okay. So a lot of people go for D. which is apply the parking brake and foot brake together. This is something that you don't want to do. The correct answer in this case is you keep both hands on the steering wheel, okay, for the best control. The weather conditions are wet, we can see here in the question, and you have to stop in an emergency. Emergency could mean that there was a child running in front of your vehicle at that time, and you have to stop. You have no choice. But you, at the same time, you don't want to lose control of your car as it's wet. You have to keep both hands on the steering wheel. Okay. You're turning right onto a dual carriageway. What should you do before emerging? Okay, so here we have an image. We can click on this image, okay, to get a better view when we're studying in our own time. So you are supposed to be this vehicle here, this estate car, and you want to, this is a dual carriageway, and you want to turn right, the direction where that van is going, basically. Okay, this is what they're saying. Now, let's go back to the question. You're turning right onto the dual carriageway. What should you do before emerging? Do you stop and apply the parking brake and then select the lower gear? We said about parking brake, that's in case I am parking my car. Okay, so no. Check that the central reservation is wide enough for your vehicle. So the central reservation is this part here, the middle part here. So let's say you move forward and you want to turn right. Yeah. We know this vehicle is estate, which is long. Yeah. So if you go forward and wait here, does it look like your car can the back of your vehicle is going to stick out? Yes. Okay. So in this case, we have to make sure that both sides of the dual carriageway is clear. Okay, both sides have to be clear for you in order for you to move out. Okay, you don't want to be waiting. You don't want to be waiting in the central reservation because we have to judge it. Okay, we have to judge whether the central reservation is wide enough for my vehicle. All right, or C, make sure that you leave enough room for a vehicle behind. No, position your vehicle well to the left side of the road. No. Okay, so B is the correct answer. Check that the central reservation is wide enough for your vehicle. So we're going to click on that. Again, if you wanted to go on the hint, get a further explanation, you can do that. Okay. This is the reason I said we don't want to go straight into mock tests, because in the mock test you will not have these options to click on a hint and find out on the spot whether your answer is correct or not, or for you to understand the answer at that exact point when you're studying. Before emerging right onto a dual carriageway, make sure that the central reservation is deep enough to protect your vehicle. If it isn't, you should treat the dual carriageway as one road and check that it's clear in both directions before pulling out. Neglecting to do this could place part or all of your vehicle in the path of approaching traffic and causing a collision. Okay, question 4. What should you do as you approach this bridge? Okay, so this bridge here, what do we do as we approach? We're going to be here on the left hand side of the road. What do we see here? Okay, when we get an image, we get a photo, we have to analyze it. Okay, we see that there's a bridge here, the question tells us, then we have a sign, okay, warning us of some sort of a bridge here. We will get to the road signs later on. Okay, it also says oncoming vehicles in the middle of the road. Okay, so hump bridge, this is a hump bridge. Okay, so triangular sign warning us of a hazard ahead, hump bridge. And what else do we notice here? We can see that there is no footpath. Okay. So what do we do as we approach this bridge? Keep to 30 miles per hour, slow down, change gear, or move to the right. In this case, correct, we slow down. Okay. We slow down. Okay. If we look at the hint, we have to be aware of pedestrians. There's no footpath. Okay. Question 5. When do windscreen pillars cause a serious obstruction to your view? When you're approaching bends and junctions, when you're approaching a one-way street, when you're driving on a motorway, or when you're driving on a dual carriageway. Okay, so for those of you that are not familiar or don't know, okay, what is a windscreen pillar? Let me just show you guys. Okay. That circled part there is a windscreen pillar, okay? Good. So, when would it cause a serious obstruction is when you're approaching bends and junctions. Why should you switch your headlights on when it first starts to get dark? Is it A, that you so that you blend in with other drivers, B, to make your dials easier to see, because the street lights are lit, also others can see you more easily. Yeah, so others can see you more easily. Good. Question 7. What should you do before making a U-turn? A, check road markings to see what U-turns are permitted. B, look over your shoulder for a final check. C, give an arm signal as well as using your indicators, or select a higher gear than normal. Yeah, so before making a U-turn, we want to look over our shoulder for a final check, okay? We have decided that we're going to make a U-turn already, so let's look at the hint. If you have to make a U-turn, slow down and ensure that the road user is clear in both directions, okay? And you can read more as you go along in your studies. Okay, so the answer here was look over your shoulder for a final check. What should you do if you can't see clearly behind when reversing? Okay, you want to reverse, you can't see clearly. What do? Ask someone to guide you, look in the near side mirror, open the door to look behind, or open the window to look behind. A child behind the car playing, and you're not sure, okay, you can't see clearly for whatever reason. Um, what do you do in that case? You want to be on the safe side and ask someone to guide you, okay? All right, so if you want to turn your car around, try to find a place where you have a good all-round vision. If this is impossible, you're unable to see clearly, then get someone to guide you. Okay? So ask someone to guide you. All right, again, we have an image here. So analyze the image properly. Let's have a look. Let's read the question first. What does this curved arrow road marking mean? Okay, so they are talking about this arrow road marking. Okay, they're not talking about any other lines. The road ahead has a camber to the left. Heavy vehicles should take the next road on the left to avoid a weight limit. The road ahead bends to the left, or overtaking traffic should move back to the left. Yeah, overtaking traffic. So D, overtaking traffic should move back to the left. Some people go for C, the road ahead bends to the left, but if we look at the image, the road ahead bends to the right. Okay, so D, overtaking traffic should move back to the left. Next question, your last question. You're following a large vehicle. Why should you stay a safe distance behind it? Okay, you'll keep out of the wind better. You'll help the large vehicle to stop more easily. You'll give the driver a chance to see you in their mirrors, or you'll be able to corner more quickly. Yeah, so if you're very close to the vehicle in front, especially a large vehicle, they will not be able to see you. That's one of the things. Okay, which is C here, you give the driver a chance to see in their mirrors. If you're too close, they will not be able to see you. Another thing is that you yourself will not be able to see the road ahead properly. Okay, so let's okay. So if you look at this large vehicle or lorry, if I am too close to this lorry, this close, I will not be able to see the road ahead. That's one. Two, this lorry driver will not be able to see me if I'm too close in the mirrors, okay? So that is your answer, which is C. Now let's finish up the test here, bottom right, and see how many we got right. Okay, 10 out of 10. Okay, so if you get 10 out of 10, that's good. You move on and try and do some more questions. You can also review your answers if you have made some mistakes. Make sure to follow my page if you liked my content, and I will be doing more videos like this.